So you want to know how to get more Poes in the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? I got a video for you guys here right now on the channel. What I realized is I made a bunch of videos on the depths. I made a video on how to get all the gear, but I realized I never told you guys how to get Poes a little bit more quickly. So currently I'm sitting at 621. Keep that in mind for by the time we end this video. 621. You're going to be using these Poes at the bargainer statues. If you don't know anything about that, go watch my video that has to do with unlocking the Dark Link tunic and the depths tunic and all that good stuff. That's a whole video in and of itself that explains that whole thing, shows you all the locations and how to unlock all that. This video, we're going to be showing you guys how to get the Poes. All right, so first things first, you're definitely going to want to unlock as many light routes as you can in the depths, if you possibly can, because we're going to be hitting up some very specific locations, specifically a lot of the big mines. So the abandoned Lurelin Mine, if I'm pronouncing it right, which I'm at right now, the abandoned Hateno Mine. You can see a bunch of, kind of large mines, the abandoned Lanayru Mine, the Hebra Mine, the Great Abandoned Central Mine. There's the abandoned Gerudo Mine in the bottom left corner. So if you can at least unlock those areas, you're pretty much set to go. And I'll explain to you and I'll show you guys exactly how that works. Let me make it up the hill here. By the way, these are what light routes look like in case you don't know. And they perfectly coincide with shrines in the above world. So for example, well, actually I don't have that one. For example, there's a shrine here and there's a light route here. See, perfect. I got a shrine over here. I don't have the light route there, but I know that there is going to be one there. Same thing with that one. I know there's going to be one there. Again, over here. Oh, that's ironically the one I'm missing. There's one here, and I'm missing it above. Okay, I'm not doing a good job. Wow. Okay, I'm really not doing a good job at explaining it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we're in business. Okay, so you can see perfect one for one over here, over here. Over here, over here. Okay, so anyways, if you find shrines above, you can be sure to find light routes down below, and vice versa. If you find a light route down below, look at the above world, and you're going to find a shrine. So anyways, let me get up this hill, and we'll start this video, show you guys exactly the best method to Poe farming. So one of the reasons we're coming to Great Abandoned Mine areas is because they have a lot of large and grand Poes. So for example, this is what a large Poe is going to look like, and if I grab it, it's going to give me 5. Now, typically we're going to be looking for as much as we can with the grand Poes. You can actually see there's one above here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and ascend right in the middle here, and it's going to bring me right up to the top. Now, what I highly recommend doing is marking these down because we're going to come back later on at some point, right? So the grand Poes are basically marked with like a pink tail. Sorry, I lost my complete train of thought. So we're going to see that, okay, there's one here, and you're going to mark it. Mark it however you want, whatever signifies to you that there's a Poe here. I think I'm going to put maybe a star, I guess, or let's just put skulls, I guess, whatever. Let's put a skull. I don't think I use the skulls for anything else. And if I grab the grand Poe, you can see that I got 20. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is exploring the whole kind of area, and you can see also there's bunches nearby as well. I'll go grab those in a second, but you know, when you're at a vantage point like this, so just look around, see can you see any more grand Poes kind of kicking around and whatnot? Because again, the grand Poes are going to be the kind of key, the prime to this, if you will. And again, just kind of poke around. Okay, I don't see any more here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go grab these since they're just close by and they're like a bunch of bunches. You don't have to. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are like bunches of 10, typically, I guess. So, I mean, if they're nearby, you might as well snag them anyways. It'll give you a little bit of a boost. But we're going to be focusing mostly on the grand Poes. Alright, so now I'm at the Gerudo Mine, and you can see, like, just past the mine is, like, right behind me here. Just past the mine, which, by the way, is in, like I said, the bottom left corner of the map. There's going to be one right here, so I'm going to go ahead and going to mark it down on the map, and then there's going to be one over here, because typically, they're eventually going to respawn, and I'll explain that in a second. They're eventually going to respawn, and so when they do respawn, you're going to want to know the exact spots where you found them, so you can just kind of go ahead and take that path and knock them out over and over and over again, which is going to help you farm them. Typically, I think there should be some up there. I might have already got it, that's why, and they haven't respawned yet. There is a large one up there. You can, like I said, you can get the large ones, or you can just ignore them because they're not worth nearly as much. The grand Poes are worth 20, so again, we're focusing on those. Alright, so now we're in the Hebra Mine. I'll show you guys where that is. Abandoned Hebra Mine. Now, this one's tricky to get into, so let me explain it really quick. So, there's a secret chasm right here. If you fly around the Rito village area, again, this is kind of like in the northwest-ish of the map. If you glide around it, I think it's like right here-ish. if I recall correctly, somewhere around here, there's like a hole in the side of the wall, like a very small hole. And if you look for that small hole in the side of the wall, you're just going to pop through it, and then there's going to be a chasm in that cave. And then that chasm is going to bring you here, because you can see that there's black all around it, which is basically signifying water, which means there's a big like brick wall that you like. It's not passable. Okay, it's impassable. So the only way to get to this abandoned mine is through the Rito village chasm right here, and same thing, the only way to get out is to fast travel out. So once we're here, you could go ahead and again rinse and repeat the whole thing that we just talked about. Again, for me here, I'm pretty sure that I already got the grand pose here, because I only like recently unlocked this. Again, ascend is your friend. Ascend is always your friend to get on top of these like large structures and whatnot. But yeah, so again, like, just look around, look where you can find the grand pose. Like I said, oh, there's one there. Hold on. I can see it. This one's a little trickier to get up to, but when we see it, and then we can again go ahead and mark it on our map, because again, this is going to be another what? 20, right? Another 20 grand pose, just like that. So again, go on your map, mark that that's the location, and then we can move on to some more mines. So now we're in the abandoned Lanayru Mine, which is actually just under Zora's domain. A little trick here to get to this chasm. There's a waterfall here. You can see there's a cave. If you go behind the waterfall, you go through the cave. At the end of the cave, there's going to be a chasm. The chasm is going to lead you down right into this area here. And so in this abandoned Lanayru Mine, there's actually one right here where I'm standing. So I'm going to mark it, and that's boom, 20. Is there any there? No. Is there any up there? There's something smoking up there. What is that? I'm going to have to check that out in a second. I know that there's one over here, or actually two over here. So let me make my way quickly over here. Going to ascend into the mushroom right here to get up a lot more easily. And you can see right over there is going to be 2 grand pose just kind of sitting on this ledge. So we're going to be able to double mark this. Thankfully, I got a lot of stamina. My stamina's maxed out, so I'm just going to quickly jump up here. And again, we got a double, so I'm just going to go ahead and going to pull it up. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to mark this as well, if I can get off that. There we go. I'm going to mark this as being like a double, because look at that. 20, 20. Just like that, we got 40. Are there any over there? No, there's nothing over there. So just like that, 40. And then I just got like one over there, which was another 20. So that's 60 just in this one area. And I mean, we're just absolutely banking. There's like a large one here if you want to grab it. I'm going to go see what that smoke is on the top real quick. Oh, it's just a chimney, because there's a construct here. But there's a bunch of crystallized charges up here if you want to grab that while you're here. Okay, so there wasn't really much going on there. Oh, look, there's another large Poe all the way over there. I don't know how I'm supposed to grab that one. Hold on. All right, so you can see there's 2 more up here. I just climbed on top of the light route, basically. And I'm making my way up. This one might be a little bit trickier to get to if you don't have much stamina, but if you have a bunch of stamina, again, look, there's another 2 right here, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to zoom in, I'm going to mark them on my map as being another double, and I mean, just here, we got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, just 100 pose just in this short span right here in this area. So, I mean, we're already banking with the pose as is. That's a lot of pose. So again, along your route, you're going to find other resources, puff shrooms, you know, bomb flowers, different things like that. That's going to help you greatly as well, because, you know, those resources are going to come in handy, so you can, you know, collect those. So it's kind of like you're knocking out a bunch of things all at once. So now, if you're wondering, I am at the abandoned Hateno mine. I'm just grabbing some of the large ones. So you can see I've spotted 2 large pose, or sorry, grand pose. There's a bunch of large ones. There's like some here. Again, you can grab those if you want. They're not worth as much, but you know, if you want to pick them up, there's no harm in obviously doing that. They'll give you an extra few. It depends, you know, how, I guess, efficient you want to be with this. Like I said, if you just focus on the grand pose, then it might be a little bit more efficient, because you're not wasting as much time on the large ones. Then again, we're gonna have to wait for these to respawn at some point anyways, so you might as well grab the large ones too. Like I said, they're only worth 5, but those extra 5 can just give you a little bit of that extra boost if they're easy to get. Again, you'll find some Sunderlions down here too sometimes in these grand areas, because these are technically Yiga bases where you're going to be doing some fighting. I won't spoil too much about that. We'll talk about that some other time maybe. So I'm at the abandoned Kakariko mine now. I'll show you where it is in a second, but I'm not seeing too many grand pose on this one. But I'm seeing a bunch of like smaller amounts, you know, some large pose and different things like that. Keep an eye out. Again, you know, you're going to find stuff like bomb flowers, different things like that. This is where the abandoned Kakariko mine is. So it's literally right under Kakariko. If you go down this chasm, you just kind of head a little bit south, and then boom, you're right here. The great kind of abandoned mines are going to look like this on the map. You might be able to find some grand Poes in surrounding areas that would, you know, still make it efficient for your path. It's also worth noting that if you talk to the constructs here, they're often going to give you these sort of schema stones that are going to be good for your auto build, right? If you don't know how to get auto build, I have a whole guide for it on the channel. Furthermore, usually when they're going to do that, you're going to have a way to test out the new auto build. You can see it's typically looking in the direction of a chest, and if you go to that chest, large crystallized zonite. So again, you go ahead, you pop open the chest, and you get large crystallized charge, which is equal to 20. So that gives you a chunk of 20 charges, which you then exchange, like I said in a different video, for increasing your energy wells. So super useful and super helpful. Again, there's like piles of Poes around. Even if you don't find, you know, maybe the large ones, you can just go ahead and grab up these little piles, because like, look right here, there's 2 piles like next to each other, one like 23-ish roughly. So I just got like 23 Poes. Again, they were super easy to just snag. They were in like these large piles. Also, in these grand abandoned mines, you can also find these other treasure chests that are going to have 20 crystallized charges right under the kind of Yiga banner. They're not always going to be there, but check around here. You're going to see a journal. It's going to have a little bit of like story and lore and hints and whatnot. So there's, you know, poke around while you're here for other useful resources also. So now I'm at the Great Abandoned Central Mine, and I can't find any of the mine itself, but just on the outskirts, I've seen these ones located here quite a few times in the past. There's just kind of 2, so you just kind of glide on over. There's a light route right behind that rock over there that you can actually snag while you're here. But again, you know, we're going to go ahead, we're going to mark it on the map. I keep pushing the wrong thing. So there's like one here, one here-ish. So I know, hey, there's a double. There's another 40. Like, we're already past 1,000 at this point. So this one's slightly out of the way, but if you can go, I guess, from the Great Abandoned Central Mine, head west, there's going to be a secret spring of revival, it's called, and there's basically a Poe right here. So right where I'm located, right on my person here, there's going to be one here. I actually see one down there. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing else before I jump down. So that's another 20. You can see that there's a 20 and a 5 next to each other, so it's going to knock me 25 right there. Pick those up, and again, that's like another 45, just like that, just right there. And this spring does revitalize your health. So I just located another abandoned mine, which is the Kakariko mine. It's directly under the Kakariko Bazaar. So obviously there's going to be a light route down here as well, just kind of northeast of the abandoned Gerudo mine. So right here, there's actually going to be a Poe right here where I'm standing on the very roof. Again, we just used ascend to get up here. And again, if you look around, you can see, are there any more, you know, grand Poes around that I can go snag real quick? If there is, great, you know, pick them up. So another location going up from the top here is just kind of in the Farron region, sort of North Farron. You can go down this chasm here, just kind of make your way around here, because again, there's going to be water, meaning black wall, and there's a construct factory right here. So what we could do is, there's a light route here. We can go to the construct factory, and when we're standing underneath the kind of main middle area, we can just go ahead and ascend up on through it. The first floor that we're going to ascend to is just going to be some random stuff. There's going to be a construct you could talk to. He's like danger. There's going to be some treasure chests if you want to open these up. You're going to get some decent weaponry. There's a Captain 4 Reaper, which has durability up. That's always nice. Yeah, Mighty Zonite Shield. You can talk to him if you want. We're going to ascend up again, though. And this is where we're going to find the grand Poes at the very top here. So we're going to pop out right here. And again, go ahead, mark it on your map that there's going to be 2 here. And again, that's another 40 just right here at the construct factory. Very, very easy to get. Okay, so I just found a bunch more. So if you go kind of southwest of the abandoned Lurelin Mine, there's the observation deck right here. If we go to the observation deck, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually glide from up there. That's where the abandoned mine was, the Lurelin Mine. We glide from down here. We just kind of pop here, and right on this little ledge here, there's going to be one here. And then if I go ahead and if I drop down right, let's say right here, there's a quick 5 right there. I can quickly kind of, you know, glide over here if I want. Over here, there's like a group of a few stragglers. Might as well pick them up since we're here. It doesn't take a whole lot of work. If I look down, there's another grand Poe down there. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no other ones along the way. And then right on this little heart rock, which is interesting, there's going to be a large and a grand. So I'm going to put that there. That's 25 more. Not too bad. I mean, we're already like 1361. We're just killing it right now. It's crazy. All right, guys, so I'm up to 1,400. We basically got 800. I've been recording for about 50 minutes, 50, just under an hour. But keep in mind that in that time, I did a lot of exploring, trying to find where all the locations were. Once you kind of get a lot of these locations, which again, for you guys, I showed you a lot of the Grand Po locations. And if you guys know more, leave them down in the comments to help us all out together, right? We can all help each other out. Just in that short little time, I mean, 50 minutes, I got 800. And that was not my most efficient run because, like I said, I was doing a lot of exploring to try to find you guys as many locations as possible. You could probably knock this out in like 20-30 minutes flat, not even, which is super useful. And then you can just come to the bargainer statues. There's one in Lookout Landing, so right here. When you go from the Lookout Landing Skyview Tower, you just kind of head to the left, and right under where Pura's hanging out, there's a bargainer statue. Now, at this bargainer statue, you can ask for the Brethren location. Don't do it. I have a guide on my channel. I'll try to remember to link it down in the description below. It shows you every single location, so you don't have to ask for them. And every time you find a new Brethren location, what's going to happen is there's going to be, they're going to add a new piece of either the dark set or the depths set. So you got the dark hood, dark tunic, dark trousers, hood of the depths, tunic of the depths, and gaiters of the depths. Now this set gives you gloom resistance. This set makes you fast at night. It has a set bonus, and it just looks cool. I mean, it's Dark Link, come on. And then the final one you're gonna get is the Tunic of Memories, which is the original Champion's Tunic. You can get the Champion's Leathers, which is the new an improved Champion's Tunic in Hyrule Castle. I got a video on the channel for that as well if you want to know about that. But that's what you get over here. So it's pretty interesting stuff. You can also rebuy, I think, all of the gear that you've previously found, like all of the amiibo kind of gear. I'm not sure why he's not showing it. I think this is something, actually, yeah, to get the amiibo gear, you have to go to one of the Brethren that are in the depths itself. You can't go to this guy. And they're going to have the full list. So, I mean, for example, if you got the Fierce Deity sword and you broke it, you can rebuy it from him. I think it's like 400. I think all of the amiibo stuff is 400. But again, the amiibo stuff can be found in the game, and I have guides for all of that on the channel. And if they're not all published by the time you guys see that, they will be soon. But again, you can also buy stuff like Dark Clumps, which makes gloom resistant effects by cooking it. Muddle Buds, right, which makes it difficult for enemies to tell from friend or foe. So basically turns them into like an ally in a way. They start attacking enemies and whatnot for you. Then Puff Shrooms, it just creates a big, blinding kind of gas. So if you put that on your shield and it hit your shield, it'll just poof out, and they won't be able to see anything. You'll be able to like, just kind of like assassinate the enemies. And then you got stuff like Bomb Flowers, which are 16 Poes a piece. And then, like I said, the whole dark and depth set, that's 3, 4, 5, 650 a piece, right? So I can afford to buy the whole set for both now, which is really, really nice. So again, 1,400. I started at like 600. That's about 800. For me, recording 50 minutes. For you, is probably gonna be 20 or 30 minutes now that you know the locations. And then, like I said, they're gonna respawn. What I heard is 2 in-game days, but you can't sleep. You cannot sleep. So it's just like 2 in-game days pass by. Right now, if you look at the bottom right corner of my screen, it says it's currently 3:40 a.m. So once 2 full days pass in game, like natural occurring days, apparently, then they're going to respawn and you can kind of rinse and repeat. Just do some other stuff in the meantime and then go back, do it again. And honestly, like a couple runs and you're going to probably have more Poes than you even know what to do with at this point. So I think it's probably the best method. If you guys know of a better method, let us all know in the comments below. Let us know also if you found any useful locations for Grand Poes that I may have missed in this video. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, let me know why so I can improve the content in the future. And be sure to subscribe for more Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and everything else Nintendo here on the channel. Till the next one, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.